Hello, everybody, and good afternoon. Happy Saturday to you. Welcome back to the stream. It is I, DIGI Driver. Today is Saturday, March 16th, 2024, and I'm a little dry. I think I might get up in a few minutes to get myself some hot tea or something. I probably haven't drank that much water today, but welcome. Hello, everybody. Hopefully, you're doing very well today, much better than me. Yeah. I think I meant to stream the past few days, but got caught up in some stuff, and yesterday was a long day at work, so I took some time off, and now I'm back. I'm probably gonna make myself some hot water to chill and to soothe my throat, and then I think we're going to get into probably a flight, a real lazy flight. And if I'm talking ultra lazy. I'm talking default Microsoft A320 Neo off network to some cool or otherwise nondescript location while I catch up with you in chat and also do a few things at my desk. I think that's what I have on the docket for today. And honestly, I'm looking forward to it. So let's wait for the rest of this to load while I get some tea. Oh, looks like it loaded before me. So let's do this. Let's pick a place to start from. The US is my oyster. Although I could do some South American flights too. I mean, sheesh, I don't think I think about South America or other parts of the world nearly as much as I should. So I remember some time ago we spent some time down in, I think it was Lord Howe Island, and we also checked out some scenery down here as well. But I forget precisely. I'm guessing it's coming up on almost 7 a.m. in Australia, in Sydney. So if I'm doing real time, it might not be the best time to do anything up there. I might also decide to fly around Anchorage or Fairbanks, Cantwell, that area, just because I can. Where is Fairbanks? That's Dawson City. Oh, flew too far up. Strange. Hold on. So, okay, Cantwell is there. There we go. It's kind of well hidden. That's interesting. Ah, interesting. There's some things that are starting to come to mind after my trip to Alaska last summer, which kind of are catching my attention now when I think about it. It's kind of cool. I don't know if I would be game for doing a G8 flight today because, especially in this aircraft, since I don't know the autopilot system very well, I'd have to pay attention to a lot. But I don't know. There's something that I like about there's something that I like about flying in Alaska right now that kind of talks to me. Even with default airports. What if I took off from, let me see, where would I want to go? Ooh, seagulls and grizzly bears, nice. Where would I want to go? Would I want to go from Anchorage to Juneau? Maybe from Fairbanks to Juneau. Where's Juneau? Juneau is nestled in here somewhere. Okay, Juneau's down here. And I'm just remembering a trip that I made down here some last summer as well. I'm trying to see where the port was because the airport's there. The seaport had to be around here somewhere. And my guess is it was probably, let's see, not there. It wasn't there either. That's too small and the river gets too narrow. So it has to be, if it's not there, it's somewhere else. That would make no sense. Pretty sure that's the Mendenhall Glacier. So, pretty sure it has to be West Juneau, and I think that's not it. This is probably it. Yeah, yeah, I think so. That's the port, which is kind of cool. So, I'm going to do this. I'm going to set up for a flight from Fairbanks to Juneau. Probably shouldn't be too long. And then we'll see how it goes. So let me find Juneau first, since I lost it again. And PAJN. So PAJN is the destination, and PAFA is the departure. There we go. Let's get back into a beautiful default airliner. Haven't used it in a while. And this is so default, I barely have anything other than a few liveries set aside for it. So we're going to fall back on the classic Orbit Airlines livery, and we are going to prep for our departure. Let's do November 820 Romeo Bravo for the registration, call sign Orbit, flight number 197, of course. Weight and balance, we're probably not going to need that much fuel. We'll take a fairly chunky plane. And no less than 40% fuel, which means the CG position is going to have to change. And that looks like a good enough number to me, which probably means the performance is going to be affected slightly or significantly. I don't know. But that's fine. I could probably even do the flight planning from the world map. Yes, I can do that. Gate 1, let's take gate 5, set as a departure, and we're going to go to PAFA. Excuse me, PAJN. So that's about an hour and 13-minute flight. You know, another 20 or 30 minutes for messing around on the ground. And it's going to be a high altitude airway flight. Fastest approach is an hour and 14 minutes. That's 547 nautical miles, which is interesting. It almost makes it look like it's a 2-hour flight based on distance alone. And winds are calm at Juneau. So I feel like a straight-in approach is probably going to be the best bet. And an RNAV approach is going to add more time, but it's going to be dope since we're going to be coming in over the bay. And RNAV means I don't have to worry about ILS. Also, just checking my stream, and it looks like for some odd reason the bandwidth isn't the best. So let me just check something, guys. Stand by. No, I've got the stream running, so I don't see a problem. I could be wrong, but we should be good. So a Fairbanks to Juneau flight, and then maybe we'll see what happens. Winds are coming from the northwest. It's calm. And since I don't care about following procedure right now, this shouldn't be a problem. We should be able to go straight in without too much difficulty. And that should be fine. And then maybe a quick drone flight again up to Mendenhall Glacier, and we'll see what it looks like up there. And I will reminisce about my trip. So I'm okay with that. My cat's on board. Let me change my volume, and we should be fine. Could be a short stream, could be a longer than normal stream. I'm just gonna play it by ear and see how it works. All right, so welcome to Fairbanks. It's looking like it's still quite snowy up here, and we're flying real time. So I don't know for a fact whether or not we're going to have issues with, sunlight going away really quickly, but not too worried about it if it turns into an evening flight, or I might just pull back time now just to make sure things stay pretty. Should I or should I leave it alone? Um, I should be able to see the airport coming in. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I was going to check the weather online anyway. So let me do this. Let me just cycle through some screens and let me open up a METAR for Juneau. Okay. Right now we've got winds 120 at 7, which still favors an approach from the east anyway. This is real life numbers. Clouds few at 1,600. Overcast at 16,000. Temperature 08, dew point 05, and the altimeter is 29993. So how about the METAR for PAFA? Right now we're looking at winds calm, visibility 10 statute. Clouds are overcast at 5,000 and temperatures -12, dew point -21. The altimeter is 29990. Let me... Actually, because this is a default plane, we probably shouldn't have to worry about the flight planning. I think most of it's done already for me. All I'd have to worry about is just making sure I connect the approach to landing at Juneau. And I could probably fly the plane in by hand if I had to. It wouldn't be pretty, but it would work. I mean, sheesh, I'm flying with a gamepad today. So we should be fine. All right. Right now, we'll get the jetway connected. We'll get power, and we'll get baggage and catering started. Shouldn't take me too long to get underway, and then we should be on our way to Juneau. Now that we have power connected, we should be able to turn on the upstairs stuff with no issues. External power is on, and we've got batteries 1 and 2. They're on now. This is the default A320neo, so a lot of the stuff that's done with the, fly-by-wire or the Phoenix, I'm not going to be doing here. And that's okay, because I kind of, just don't care anyway. I'm just going over buttons just to see if anything actually needs to be done. I could probably mess with the wipers if I wanted to, but that's okay, I won't. The fire buttons don't work and the fuel pumps are off. Gens are going to be ready to go. I won't need to mess with temperature or anything like that. Just the basic buttons, APU bleed, probe heat. I'm going to turn on the probe window heats now because it's cold outside in terms of the sim weather. We'll turn on the nav lights and we'll get the seatbelt sign and no smoking sign or electronics on. I don't have to worry about arming the emergency lighting, and the I guess the lighting for the controls or some of these buttons is already set. Let me get the dome light on just to make it easier on me and thing of taking my time. Jesus, good to see you, my friend. Welcome aboard. A pleasure to have you here. I'm doing some lazy flying today, and I'm going to be messing around with some tech and just catching up with chat. So, bear with me. Grab a chair, grab a seat. I have a seat reserved for you in first class, my friend. And I might grab some vino or some Guinness later. But we've got probe and window heats on, or at least we've got probe window heats on. And I'm going to do the ultra lazy thing, hit the B button. I confirm that it's 2990 anyway. And we're probably going to cruise today. I want to say for an hour flight. We're probably going to cruise around flight level, I'd say 350 should be fine, I'd say. And let me just make sure my panels are up and running. I don't have to worry about aligning the IRS because it's already done for me. And I'm going to set my squawk code. And that's already set. So let's take a look at the, okay, effective AIRAC cycle. That's going to need to be updated in a few days. Just a subtle reminder to my friends. And we'll take a look at our flight today, flight number 197, and we're going to be doing Fairbanks to Juneau, Costa next 100. Yeah, baby, we're going to floor it. And zero fuel weight and fuel weight config is set. Block fuel is 8,500 kilograms. Should be more than enough. And we already have our takeoff speed set. We just need to get our flight plan sorted. We're taking off on, I believe, 02 left out of Fairbanks, and we're going to be flying out. I don't know if this is a specific departure, and honestly today, I don't care. Don't have very good signal here, so stream is cutting in and out. I apologize in advance. Something might be up with my bit rate. I mean, I've got around 6,000 kilobits per second, and Stream Elements isn't actually giving me any trouble right now, not as far as I know, but I will try to keep an eye on things and see what's up. Also, I know my stream is slightly delayed. Give me a moment, folks. I'll be right back. friends, I'm back. Just had to help Mrs. Digi with some stuff, and I did get a chance to go get myself some warm drink. I'm really glad I did that. Let's go ahead and continue with the setup for the flight, and then we'll see where we go from here. So, I was just making sure I was set for the flight. 8.5 for fuel is pretty much standard overkill in terms of endurance, so I shouldn't have a problem getting to Juneau. I might even be able to divert to Anchorage if the weather is bad, which it doesn't sound like it will be. Let's take a look at the arrival for Juneau. Oh no, wait, we're using the RNAV, but let me just double check. Arrival RNAV 08. Yeah, so there it is. It's set. Let me... Oh, displays are already maxed out for me. Very nice of the plane to do that. And rudder trim, cockpit door is always closed, and let's do WXNT and make sure that the integrated lighting is good. Altitude reporting is now on, and we should be okay. At least I think so. Maybe I'm wrong. So let's go ahead and get set. I forgot whether or not you could actually see very many screens here. Engine you can see. Nope, not much. It's okay. Sneak a peek outside. Catering is ongoing, I'm assuming. Is there anybody else here with me? We've got one IRL flight at a gate, and there's the terminal parking. Yeah, not much else going on. So we should be able to get out of here just fine. Let's see how much sunlight we can catch before we have to say goodbye to it for now. Let me go ahead and dismiss the catering and baggage. We should be fine. Let's go ahead and turn on the APU and get underway. Okay, get the beacon light on and turn on the fuel pumps. And let me just double check and see what my volume levels are. We should be good. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to boost the volume in the game so that I'm not, blasting everybody out. I'll set that there for now and see what the volume levels look like. Just let me know if it's too loud or too soft in terms of sim volume, my microphone, whatever. Beacon lights are on. We can turn the APU master switch on, and we should be able to start the APU now. So, just to save myself a few seconds, I'm going to go ahead and hit the APU bleed button and turn the dome light all the way off. Nav, beacon, no other lights need to be on. Seatbelt and no smoking signs are set. And we should be able to plan our departure. Now, let me take a look at a quick screen for charts for Anchorage. So, which runway are we departing on out of here? We're going to 2 left, 02 left. Really? Okay. I have, oh no, wait, 2 left. I was looking at the other side. Right. So 02 left means we're going to taxi down Alpha to Echo. So we're going to push back, tail facing northeast. So we can go ahead and hit up the pushback service, pre-plan, and that should be good. There we go. Let's request pushback and get out of here.
Cockpit to ground.
This is ground. Stand by.
All right, so APU bleed is already selected, which means we can disconnect external power, and we should be able to dismiss it now. Unless, of course, it was already going away. It was already going away. Excuse me. Flight Sim Stream, welcome aboard, my friend. I'm doing well,
Okay,
just had to
sir,
get a few
the bypass pin is installed.
hot drink,
All doors and
and I'm
hatches
good to go
closed and all
to
ground equipment
Juneau.
is removed.
We are cleared for start and push.
Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
All right, before I do that, let me double check, make sure I'm all right. I should be.
Please release parking brake.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
It will start in the sequence.
And let's go. Ignition mode start. Engine 2. We're leaving behind default Fairbanks and going to Juneau today. Thank you, friend. Engines are spinning up, or at least my red engine is. Looking good. Let's do engine number 1. I think I like this view for an internal camera. And left engine spinning up.
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
Parking brake set. Ground. Startup is complete. You may disconnect.
Roger. Good engine start. Cleared to disconnect. See you at the side. Have a good flight.
Holding position waiting for the visual. Thank you and goodbye.
Haven't done a simple flight like this in a little bit. I usually fly with more involved aircraft, but it's nice just to throw the sim in for fun. All right, off we go. All right, so we have both engines going, which means we can go back to mode normal for our ignition. We have our weather stuff set up. I don't need flood lighting for the pedestal. What is our performance for today? Calculated it's going to be 156 for V1. Let's go flaps 2 with an up of 0.4. It might need more, but we have a fairly long runway for that. So let's see. That should be about enough. Maybe a little bit more. There we go. And that's it. All right, quick flight controls check. We're going to go full left, full right, full forward, and full back. And then left and right rudder detents. We are good. Also, let's set our flaps to position 2. There they go. All right, let's get the nose taxi light on and wing lights on for safety. And then that should be everything. Since the engines are running, we can turn the APU bleed off and also turn the APU off. I do not believe we have any precipitation in the area, but I might make a command decision about anti-ice when we get to the runway. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and taxi down Alpha to Echo, and we should be able to release our parking brake now. Hello, King Cobra. Good to see you, my friend. I hope you can see the stream okay. I know that one of my friends had to jet because the stream wasn't loading for him nicely. Okay, now we're moving. I was afraid that the airplane was stuck. We can go a little bit faster. That's fine. Okay, okay. Just double checking. Because if 2 people were beginning to complain about stream quality, then I have to double check something. I have to admit I haven't actually messed with too many stream settings in a long time, so I might do some soak tests this week or something. I don't know. All right, let's get a move on. We're saying bye to Fairbanks today, flying down to Juneau. And it is March, and I would imagine that a good chunk of the snowy climbs in the midsection of the country will probably change over to more spring-like weather soon. I am not afraid to admit this would be a place that I would go back to visit without reservation. The last time that my family went to Alaska was last summer. It was my first time. It was definitely what I'd call a bucket list trip, and it was unbelievably amazing. The food, the vistas, the trip overall was just beyond explanation. You don't visit Alaska, you experience it. And honestly, I would go back immediately if I could. Excellent flight sim stream. Thanks for confirming. So we shouldn't have too much trouble getting down to Juneau today unless we have issues with the sim, which I certainly hope we don't. But I'm flying a default aircraft out of default scenery. I don't see how we're going to run into a problem. But, I mean, weirder things have happened. So, by the Lord's grace, we will not experience difficulty, but if we do, so be it. Hopefully everybody watching the stream is okay, and if you're not, then my sincere prayer is that you are given comfort, healing, encouragement, support, that you are well taken care of today, in Jesus' name. So, Echo is literally the last taxiway all the way up at the top of 02 left. So we should be able to make a left turn and get on our way. While we're prepping that, since we're essentially almost going to be taking off, I'm going to drop the landing gear lights into place, set strobe to auto, and I don't think we're going to run into problems with icing, but let me just see what the OAT is right now. So we're looking at minus 12 overall. It's cold. And even though this is alpha, the default scenery says it's delta, so this would be a place I'd be sorely tempted to come back to fix as a scenery developer, but there's so much that I want to do over the next few months anyway that I have to restrain myself. All right, heavy cargo ramp to the right and runway 2 left to my left. Let's put the parking brake on for now and just make sure we're good otherwise. Let's see, we've got everything set down here that I can think of. Ignition is normal. And let's get the landing lights on, nose light for takeoff, strobe light on, and that should be everything. All right, so let's get started with our flight to Juneau today. Parking brake off, we'll get the... Actually, do we even have a chrono button? Ha, we don't. I guess I don't have to complain about the chrono being off. Levels are looking pretty loud. That could be a good thing. But I'm going to lower them just a touch. All right, performance. Are we doing a derated departure? Nope, we're going full toga. Go ahead and get out of town. Okay. Engines are in agreement. Mantoga. Runway. 80 knots seen. Coming up on 140. V1 and rotate. Gentle. Gently raise the nose. Here we go. Up, up, and away, chat. Positive rate of climb. We'll go gear up.
Overspeed, 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 overspeed.
Okay. Little overspeed with the flaps, but we're okay. 500. Autopilot. And we will...
Overspeed, 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 overspeed.
double check our climb rate. $3,400 per minute should do, and we're off. Hey, I'm Seb. Sorry I missed your messages. We are flying the A320neo out of Fairbanks. Ça va, mon ami. Ça va. Just like that, we're on our way out. We gained quite a lot of airspeed really quickly. There's the airport, and we're going right into the cloud layer. Thanks for coming along, everybody. Appreciate having you with me on this Saturday afternoon. We are on our way to Juneau in Alaska, and we've just departed Fairbanks International. We're flying the default A320neo and gonna enjoy some clouds on the way up to 35,000 feet. We're almost at 10,000 feet, so we'll be able to turn off landing lights. I should be able to turn off my nose light. Wing lights can come off. We'll turn them back on if we need to. And we're past 10,000. So, gears up. Excuse me. There we go. Gears up now. And flaps are up. So we should be good. Sheesh, DIGI, you got rusty. Maybe I did. It's okay. Look at these clouds, though. So beautiful. I feel like the frame rate's more a testament to Asobo and their performance tweaks to the sim. I only have a 3060 Ti and a Ryzen 5900. Ooh, someone's flying with me? Nice. Let's see. Excellent. Pretty sure that's multiplayer because I don't think AI would, live traffic would overcorrect its inputs unless it is a live flight. I don't know. Whatever the case, thanks for joining me. Wow. I'm pretty sure we're going to see sunset and twilight before we get to Juneau. That's okay. I am probably going to go through some stuff. This might be a one-shot flight today. I don't anticipate doing another flight out of Juneau, unless of course I do. If I do, I might fly a different aircraft. I do know I'm going to, spend a little bit of time in drone cam in Juneau just to check out some sites in the area. I haven't actually flown in Alaska in a while, so I look forward to seeing if there are any changes. Let me just take a sip of some water. Okay, we are past 18,000 feet, so I can pull standard. Wow. So folks, we're flying Orbit Airlines Flight 197, service to Juneau. And let me take a look at windy.com just to see if we have any major issues with getting to our intended destination. Because the clouds en route look a little nasty. Okay, we do have a weather system in the, I guess the Whittier Bay, and we have some rain in Anchorage, but I don't know if we have rain elsewhere. the weather radar is kind of limited in, actually it is limited in Alaska. So I don't think we're going to have issues with weather, not based on what I see. Let me reduce my climb rate to 1,800 feet per minute. Should be fine. I'm not in that much of a hurry to get up to cruise, especially now when we're at 25,000 feet already. I think we're also going to go ahead and manually override airspeed. 280 should probably be somewhere around 0.78, 0.79 Mach. Let's do 0.78, see what happens. Because I'm climbing manually, I might as well override the airspeed too. Look at that. Hello, friend. Welcome aboard. Unfortunately, I don't know why my model matching is as bad as it is. It's probably because I don't have all the new flight models a lot of people have, so it is what it is, I guess. So I have better model matching in Prepared in P3D. And I mean, for a while I was almost plane watching at certain airports, but I don't have as much add-on scenery. Actually, I have, believe it or not, I have more add-on scenery in P3D. I certainly have more add-on scenery between P3D and FSX than I do in MSFS. I should probably buy some more. Or make some. I'm trying to. Flight level 280, I don't think we're going to have too much trouble getting to top of climb to enjoy the flight. Oh yeah, we're going to have a while up here before I even see an airport anyway, so that's fine. But welcome aboard, everybody. Glad to have you here. I'm going to go ahead and lower the sim volume a bit. That should be fine. And I am going to set down my gamepad and go through some stuff I have. First off, how are you? How is chat doing today? Hopefully you are okay and enjoying today. I did some of my usuals for Saturday. Woke up, cooked breakfast, and then I went, got the mail, cleaned up a little bit around the house, and now I'm sitting in front of the controls of the default A320neo, and we are on our way to Juneau. I also have some tech on my desk that I think I'm going to be going through. I think I have a project that I'm going to undergo. I've had a case for the Raspberry Pi Zero that I got gifted from a friend of mine last year, and ooh, nice roll. I am thinking about taking the Raspberry Pi Zero out because it's in this kind of like funky cartridge case where you can basically plug in the Raspberry Pi Zero into a GPi case, and essentially you're going to be looking at like a Game Boy type deal where you can play games on the go. So I'm considering taking the Raspberry Pi Zero out because I might do some projects with it. I have another one that I use for programming, and I don't know. I mean, sure, it's convenient in the sense that if I want to play games, I have a system ready to go. I have some other consoles as well, but I think I'm trying to also do some project work this year, and I'm looking at a few things that I coded earlier that I like. I have a couple of Raspberry Pi Pico microcontrollers. One of them is showing me the current temperature and humidity using a sensor that actually measures it. I'm also looking at a spinning LED display. I got this kit from Freenove, which gives you a whole bunch of like sensors and equipment and things that you can do to create projects, whether or not you want to use, detect motion, or you want to say you want to do infrared, although I don't think I have an infrared camera. I could be wrong. Oop, we went open climb. Did we? It could have been the weather that actually did that. So let me just double check. We're coming up on flight level 350, so let me just do managed climb. It should finish taking me up to 35,000 feet. At least I think it should. And since we're getting up to cruise, let me just get some of this out of the way right now. When we get to Juneau, I'm probably going to auto brake medium. And oh wow, does it not keep that? That's a little weird. I mean, if that's default behavior in the Airbus and it doesn't keep auto brake selections when you're not approaching an airport, then I guess that's okay. That's fine. We're in the climb phase. We're going to be in the cruise phase shortly. And like I said, we are well on our way. We're not going to be touching the altitude or airspeed sections of the MCP anytime soon. Give me Mach 0.8. And let's see if we can put a little pepper on our flight. Oof. Wow, these clouds look so beautiful. Let's go outside. It's lovely outside. Super cloudy. Okay. Now, let me take a few seconds to go through some things and see if I can't find anything interesting to work on for next week. Some of you folks already know I'm a software developer in real life, and I did a good chunk of work in the first few months of the year. I put in some long hours yesterday, so I didn't stream then. But when I'm not programming and I'm not doing scenery development, sometimes I like to look through some old, it's not old tech, but some project. I like to look at Raspberry Pi things. So I'm checking to see what I have. And I hope that you guys are doing very well. And MSEP again, if I didn't say hello before, hello, my friend. Glad to have you aboard, in case you're still here. But yeah, I'm going through the book bag that I had for my trip last year, and I am just reminiscing a little bit about some of the things that we did. Okay, I definitely need to put this in a car, so I'll leave that paper out. And I think that's it. Nice pass. I wonder where my other sensor went. I could probably have it in my other container. Kev, thanks for the info. That's pretty cool. Um, it's good to do that if you don't have a long runway. Okay, you're flying the dark? No, there's something wrong. I'm gonna lose you for a moment, so I'm sorry, Manerso. There's something wrong with this. I should be model matching on, yeah, use generic aircraft. No, no. There should be nothing preventing me from having that Dark Star show up and be model matched. But thanks again for the info, Kev. And welcome aboard, friend. Good to have you. I like using auto brake medium on pretty much all my Airbus landings because I like getting off the runway relatively quickly. I think I only picked auto brake low if I figured I could actually land slowly enough to not use auto brake medium. But yeah, I usually don't do um, rollout landings unless that's a thing. Yeah, we are flying to Juneau today in the default A320neo, what I like to call, my helping of Airbus Light. I've been trying to do scenery development over the past few weeks, and I feel like I've been getting back in the groove, so to speak, figuring out how to just get more and more interest back into doing development. And to be honest, I think I'd like to Juneau, that's like in Alaska. That's right. I talked to a friend of mine that actually suggested that I should try collaborating with a company for some upcoming work. So I don't know where that conversation is going. We're going to see where that goes in a bit, but I'm also happy to have been solicited for the opportunity. We'll see what happens. In the meantime, I'm taking advantage of Cruise to go through my belongings and see the things I want to work on next and the things that I don't really care about. So I'm stretching my legs. I don't think the motion sensor light is in my container. I think it's somewhere else. But again, taking it one step at a time right now. And stuff. I think the other PCB controls are here. I see them. Where is the other stuff? The other stuff is not here. Separate drawer. That's fine. I specifically and explicitly chose this flight and today just to be a way more relaxed flight sim experience, and hopefully it's a relaxing one for you guys as well. It is hard to conceive, like legitimately, that we are coming up on just the last weeks of March and we're going into April. It's going to be Good Friday and we're going to go like, pretty much like right into April. And before I know it, people are going to be prepping for, uh, going to Expo and doing all the prep and stuff like that. I still don't know if I'm going to be able to make it. I think it would be cool to go. I'm not going to lie. But there is a possibility that I might not be able to make it. because reasons. So if it happens, if I get to go, that's wonderful. If I don't, then that's just what it is. And we'll see if I can make it next year or do something different. I don't know. Ah, cool. I think I found my other sensor. That's great. I like days like this. I'm finding bits and pieces that are probably going to help me in my upcoming adventures, if you will. But a hardship turned into an unexpected blessing yesterday because I had to work with some colleagues at work to fix a situation, and we all we all came together and we started figuring out how to get something done. And then before you know it, bam, it got done and we were able to move on. Well, I'm sorry, I grossly oversimplified the situation. I also said the incorrect thing. The situation is not fixed totally. It's not 100% done. However, we have a plan. And as a part of that plan, unofficially, I stayed late yesterday to get perspective, figure out what was broken, and start on a plan of fixing it. So, let's just say we're one step closer. In the meantime, it's been a while since I've tried to do stuff like purchase anything flight simulated, and I'll be honest with you, I'm in no hurry to purchase flight sim add-ons right now. I think I'm keeping my eyes open to the horizon for a few things. First thing, I'm very curious about the state of things like Flight Sim Expo and whatnot, and I'm also curious about what's going to be happening with Flight Simulator 2024. So I would be very curious to see how that turns out. I am very curious, not just because I'm a developer, but also because I like to fly planes, clearly, as you can see. And it's looking very pretty outside. I think we're flying over I think they call these the Arcadian Mountains, and we're flying past Mount Denali if we haven't already flown past it. We're in the vicinity of places like Cantwell, Talkeetna, other towns on the way to Anchorage, but I'm pretty sure we're not going to be touching Anchorage at all since we're flying, southeasterly to Juneau. So that's just how it's going to be. Yeah, you know what? I think I am going to start taking the Pi Zero out of my other game rig, unless I can figure out a reason to want to play with that right now. Why would I want to? Well, let me think. If I keep it assembled, I'll be able to play certain games whenever I want to, which is great. It's nice, it's handy, it's portable, and I still haven't gone through the batteries that I have in it right now. If I take it apart, then I'll be able to use it for other stuff as well. But I also have a Pi Zero that I'm just kind of casually using for development that I could easily integrate into projects without having to take it out of my machine. So it's the classic argument, do you want to inconvenience yourself for the sake of new projects, or just want to keep things the way they are? And that's an interesting question for all of us. I think sometimes comfort can be the enemy of growth, and sometimes comfort is what's required. So we have to make our choices. We have to decide what it is that we're going to do. But in terms of starting any new projects up, it's not like if I take my Pi Zero out of my retroflag GPi case that I'm not going to be able to put it back in anymore. I know how to disassemble it. I know how to reassemble it. It's just a question of whether or not I want to take time to do something so I can focus on something else. So I would say sure. Let's go ahead and do that. And then figure out whether or not I have all the necessary tools and equipment to do whatever else it is I want to do later. So I'm going to put the larger case back in its pouch, and I'm going to disassemble the holder, which actually holds the Raspberry Pi Zero together. And then that means I'll get that little thing out, and I'll be able to take the micro SD card out of its slot and stick a new one in, specifically for the sake of actually, what am I trying to say? Specifically so that I could actually make it do something different. It's nice to be able to do projects like this because it just kind of keeps my brain going, keeps me interested, keeps me focused. I think this has a default progress page, but I could be wrong. No, no. Oh no, here we go. Progress. So, destination, Juno, says UTC 0511. And UTC is currently what? Can I see it anywhere? Oh, right here. So if that says 511 and that's 404, we've got about an hour to go. Not bad. Let me get a nice little bit of lighting on. And just a touch of pedestal lighting, and we're good. Otherwise, yeah, I'm happy. It is super quiet in the cabin. Nice. I wish I could pan the camera around here very easily, but I'm pretty sure, like a modification or a hack that I'd have to do that I couldn't be bothered to do right now. So I'm happy. I'm happy looking out this window. But if I kept it there, it would just make the stream so quiet. So let me see. The holder for my Raspberry Pi Zero takes a Phillips head screwdriver, a tiny one. So I'm going to put this over here, and I think I'm probably going to put the screws inside a cover. I know which one to use. This one will work fine. Wow. Stars are definitely coming out. And this looks nice up here. But let me take a few moments just to take a look at some charts. I'll look at charts for Juno. No, not Lisbon, Juno. Okay. FlightAware.com has an RNAV GPS Victor runway 8 approach. And the approach altitude, I think we need to be at 500 feet just before the turn. Lucknico, thank you for the follow. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us. We're flying from Fairbanks to Juneau today in the default A320neo, a Microsoft flight sim. I was just checking altitudes for the approach. I'm probably going to set my altitude to be about 3,000 feet because I don't think we're going to have issues with terrain avoidance since we're going to be coming in kind of over the outer bay, if you will. Even 3,000 should be fine, so we'll leave it there. Could I be going faster? Probably, but I'm not in that much of a hurry to get there. Right now, you can't see this, but I am taking apart some equipment. I am going to get a Raspberry Pi Zero out of a device that I've been using to play games on for a while because I want to use it for some different things. So far, so good. It's going to get to a point where I won't be able to see anything. I almost wish I pulled the time back, but I'm okay. If it's dark when I land, it's dark when I land. Does anybody in chat like playing old video game systems? I do. Matter of fact, I currently have a Raspberry Pi playing a slowed down kind of a tracked loop for Outrun, and it's an arcade game that I sank many quarters into in my childhood. But I am enjoying the kind of what would you call that, ambiance. I grew up with older video game systems, and I enjoyed playing them. Sometimes I wish I would have held on to them, held on to many more of them, but sometimes I think it's nice to move on from certain things. Also, looks like we got a blast of some. We got a blast of some air. So I can't lower my altitude just yet because the computer actually decided to start descending out of 35,000 feet. Gotta watch out for that weather sometimes. And the other screwdriver's a flathead. Good. Okay, so now I should be able to keep those screws away from my circle of movement. I don't want them to go flying all over the place and then start to feel really bad because I lost more tiny, tiny screws. That would not be good. Okay. It'll take a while for me to get to Juno, so I am currently messing around with a Raspberry Pi Zero right now. I was not streaming yesterday because I was flying with Eric Flight, and I was also taking a look at another stream of my friend Sim Caesar. He was playing a game that lets you use or pilot a Japanese train. The thing about the sim that Sim Caesar was using was that it's actually what appears to be a DVD video, and the software allows you to it makes it look like you're actually at the controls of the train. So you can actually make it go, make it stop, make it go backwards, make it go forwards. And essentially you can do all the things or most of them and enjoy yourself. And it's a novel idea because you can actually, here you're not going to get better graphics than real life for a start. And second, it's um it's a nice way to just enjoy piloting a train and enjoy the experience. So it's definitely nice. This is amazing. The Raspberry Pi Zero is a entire computer that literally fits inside the palm of my hand. Put it to you for comparison, it's about as wide, it's a little bit wider than a stick of gum. And you can actually do a lot of the things that you normally do on a computer, like browse the web, check email, write software programs. It's trippy and kind of sort of unbelievable that you can actually pull things off on something that's so small. Hmm, I'm kind of glad I did this. So now I can do some cleanup. Okay. This isn't going to be perfect. Oh, that's why it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing, because that's on backwards. Hmm. Okay. Well, that would explain things, wouldn't it? Things work better when they're placed correctly, DIGI. Okay, superb. And to prevent myself from losing... Oh, no, wait. The screws would have to go back in. All of those things. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to... Can I use the golden tie downs inside? Probably. No, actually, I can't. Okay. I need to put them inside a really tiny bag or something, because I don't want to lose them and I don't want to put them somewhere they're not supposed to go. So, where's my stuff? Where's my stuff? I've got a long anti-static bag, but that's not closable. Ah, here we go. I found something from before. What's in here? A bunch of larger than normal screws. Yeah, you know what? They'll do. Because I'll be able to differentiate easily between the screws that belong to the cartridge holder for the Raspberry Pi Zero and the other screws which belong to something else. I don't know what they're there for, so therefore I won't touch them. And yes, I do like to crack corny jokes, so you've been warned. This is your only warning. All right. I might get up in a little bit to make myself some coffee and probably grab a snack. I'm wondering if I should grab some ham and cheese, but I don't know. I know later on tonight I'm going to make some dinner, or at least make plans to make dinner. So we'll see what happens. Okay, and now it looks like we're looking at the end of the trip. We've got roughly 240 nautical miles to our destination, which means we have somewhere in the vicinity of 160 nautical miles before we have to start getting ready to descend from 35,000 feet. It's kind of trippy that we have to think about that already, but that's how airline flights go. Of course, I speak from the perspective of an airline flight passenger. I'm not a real pilot IRL. Don't have a private pilot's license either, although I would like that at some point. Just not right now. There are other priorities I have to take care of, and that's okay. Okay. I think I can put that lid back on the other container. That's fine. And I have a whole bunch of cables in here and some LEDs that I'm going to have to mess around with in the future. I can now take the Recal Box Game Boy kit that I disassembled, and I should be able to stick that in the case. Actually, if I'm careful, I can probably stick it back in the same spot the cartridge sat in normally. So, let me take my time. Or I could just do that. There we go. Excellent. Now I can actually stick this cartridge back in the Recal box without screws, so that the back of the case doesn't have to be exposed to a lot of dust. And just like that, that is empty. Good. The case also came with a USB plug-in for power, but I don't know if I have a power brick that I can actually plug the other terminal, the USB terminal into that will give me enough power for it. It takes it won't work with like a regular cell phone power pack, so I had to be careful about that. Okay, phase one is complete, and let me take a few seconds just to prep my descent. Yeah, once we get to this waypoint, we're going to want to start descending, I think, because everything's going to come together really fast once we get close to Juno. I'm also going to make a command decision about whether or not I'm actually going to add daylight back in just so we can see the arrival. We'll see. Looks like the weather cleared up a bit and we are flying over some very mountainous territory. Looks nice. It's definitely dark out, but I feel like the moon is out because I don't think I'd be able to see all that stuff without it. Okay, so I'll put this 32GB micro SD card back in here and stick the other one in here. This Raspberry Pi Zero does not have a case of any kind, but that's fine. Put the other stuff away, and I am going to add the necessary pieces to complete my setup. Only problem is that I won't be able to use the other connectors like I want to, so I'm gonna have to remove them from my currently running Pi Zero, but because I'm not plugging anything into the Pi Zero right now, it shouldn't matter. So good. And it's still running too, so I'm happy. Okay, we've probably got somewhere around 40 nautical miles. So once I get the other components plugged into my other Raspberry Pi Zero, I'll take a look at the approach data, if you will. Right, we've got that plugged in. I don't need you except for micro USB. I'm sorry, micro HDMI. And now that I have this set up, I can also plug in the antenna I was using. And that's it. Okay. I used to actually look at flight radar and look at airplanes and stuff, and that's what I think I'm going to use the other Raspberry Pi Zero for. So I should be able to pull that off unless I have difficulty getting that set. Ooh, Alaska, flying to Fairbanks. They probably took off from Juneau a little while ago. Can I see them? I wonder. Not really. But, okay. Alright. Fine and dandy, I guess. So we're at 35,000 feet. If I'm going to descend to 3,000 feet, I'm going to shed 32,000 feet of altitude, which means roughly 110 nautical miles is when I'm going to want to descend. Aviator Chris, hello. Welcome aboard, Raiders. We are in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I am DIGI Driver. Thanks for saying hello. And Aviator Chris, thank you so much for coming in with the raid. We've been flying out from Fairbanks into Juneau, and we should be on approach very soon. Once I land, I might call it a stream. I probably will. I've just been using today just to chill and to relax. Aviator Chris, hello. Things are good. Things are good. Looks like we've got a little bit of a weather system ahead of us, though, so I might check that real fast just to make sure we're not flying into any trouble. But otherwise, man, I'm doing okay. Today was a very nice, seasonably beautiful Saturday afternoon where I live, and I am enjoying the flight. I've taken advantage of the time to go through some things, and we should be landing momentarily. So, again, thanks so much for coming through. Arrow Flyer, hello, good to see you, friend. I am happy to see you and happy that you've come alongside. Now, we've got a little less than 110 nautical miles, so I should probably start descending now. If I take a look at where I am, I don't think I'm going to run into an issue with altitude, at least not until about 10,000 feet. And what I could do really easily is I could probably go on skyvector.com and just double check minimum altitudes and things like that. So let's go to skyvector.com and take a look at that area of the country. So if we're coming in, where's Juneau? I see Skagway. Juneau, I think, is right here. Okay, great. So let's take a look. I would probably say we're going to run into issues if we descend past 15,000 feet. So I'm probably going to set for probably 180 for now and descend at about, what's my current airspeed? 2,000 feet per minute. So down we go. I'm a little bit less than 100 nautical miles away from that waypoint. Oh, actually, you want to know what? I'm descending way, way ahead of time. Let's stay at 340 for now. Yeah, I got confused. I thought, yeah, I want this to be a lot closer to me. I'm mixed up, gang. I'm sorry. That's okay. We'll stay at 340 for now, and then we will really prep for the arrival. It's pretty dark out there, but like I said, it's moonlit. Let's take a look outside. Is it moonlit? Yep, there it is. Okay, so when we last left off, I was actually going through my stuff and trying to get one of my machines set up to get ADS-B signal. So I am going to finish that. After I say hi to my cat. Okay, so slow down, get your bearings, get your other power adapter dig, and connect it. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is plug in my other machine and hold on to the extra heat sinks they give me for later if I need them. Actually, you want to know what? That might not be a bad idea. I'm pretty sure I put a heat sink on the other machine that I'm using right now, so that's actually pretty good. For the sake of tonight's experiment, though, I'm not going to worry about it immediately, but I'll stick it with my other tools so I don't forget where it is. Then I'll have that on hand for the future. And if you folks are curious, I am a flight sim streamer. I also like to do loads of scenery development when I'm able to. And I also like messing around with technology. If you're familiar with anything called the Raspberry Pi, it is a tiny computer you can use as a desktop, or you can actually use it to power other projects. Like if you have like a weather station, or you can, what else can you do with it? You can use it for like the brain of a robot. Like I'm talking about like the radio controlled things, or like the kind of grabby things that you would see in like Robo Wars or stuff like that. So that's some of the things you can use with it. Use it for, I should say. Um yes, okay. We do have the power, and this is the throwaway piece. I don't like it when they send the equipment to you with throwaway like cinch ties, because I can't reuse them, and I wish I could. But that's all right. We've got less than 70 nautical miles, 70, excuse me, 70 nautical miles to Wogus, and then we can genuinely begin descent. I'd say somewhere between 30 to 20 nautical miles we'll start dropping down and get set to our average Juno. Hopefully we'll be able to see our way, but if we can't, that's all right. Let me find a spot to plug my adapter in. And there we go. Now, folks, I'm going to go ahead and leave you with a view of the wings as we start to approach. I think we're about maybe 5 minutes away from getting close to top of drop. So let me think. I should probably get my performance numbers set, so I'll take a look at them really quickly. The last time I checked, it was 29903 at Juno. We'll refresh. It's 29902. Winds right now are from the west at 3. But again, unless it's a real problem getting down there, I'm still coming in from the like landing east, so I'm not going to care. I'm not on VATSIM, so I'm not worried about it. Temperature is 09, and transition altitude is 18,000 feet. I'm going to use radio altimeter, and I'm going to decide at 300 feet. We'll land with flaps full, which is going to give us I think a ref plus 5 of 161. It's going to be kind of peppy, but we should be fine. We'll definitely be using medium auto brake, that's for sure. Okay, how much time do I have? Not much. Let me see. Do I want to wait or do I want to actually mess around with my other tech? What I might do is I might actually wait until we're in the descent to actually start getting ready. And then once we begin our descent, I'll leave you guys looking out the window and then I'll plug in my other electronics and just make sure I can actually do the things I need to do with them. I'm also going to, I don't think I need to borrow anything more than a keyboard to make this work. Nope, should be fine. A little bit bumpy. Still pretty snowy up here. Yeah, I'm glad I waited. We're coming up on Wogus really fast. I think I'm also gonna go ahead and get to Wogus first to begin descent into Juneau instead of descending at 30 because I feel like I actually want to delay my arrival into Juneau a little bit. And the mountainous terrain around here is probably not going to help. So if I look at Sky Vector again, okay, there is additional minimum safe altitude data for Canada as well as Alaska. So let me think. I would say on my flight path, we're headed at 130. Okay, so we're probably going to be going out into the bay. I can't see much in the way of terrain right now at all, but I think we should probably be okay. I would say the lowest that I want to descend to on approach is probably going to be 14,800 unless I wait to cross Wogus overhead. Let's see where we are. All right, so Papa Alpha Yankee Alpha. Is that a private airport? I think so. Interesting. You can't really move this around much. Oh, okay. Now I see where we are. Gotcha. So we are about 100 nautical miles due east of Yakutat, which means if we descend now, we should probably be okay. I think so. All right, let's set up the descent. All right, take the highest number in the area that we're going to be coming into. I would say the highest number is going to be somewhere around 9,300 for now. All right, we're going into the soup. All right, so we've got 80 nautical miles to our decel point, and let's set descent at 270 knots. So approach data is armed. And we are like fully idle. That's good. All right, so I'm going to try something. I'm going to put you guys on a wing view. I'm going to switch over to my other screen and get my other piece of hardware up and running, and I'm going to see if this works. Because we are descending at about 2,000 feet per minute right now, and I'm feeling if we keep this descent rate up, we should be down to 9,300 by the time we get down there. All right, sit tight, chat. Should be back shortly. Thank you. All right, chat, I'm back, and it looks like I'm back just in time. Let me go ahead and switch into the cockpit. We are at flight level 203. And we have left the Mach numbers a long time ago. Eh, 280 knots for the descent isn't bad. How far out are we? We're about 40 nautical miles out. Okay. I think that's Juneau that way. This feels like a watered down version of the approach into Jackson Hole. Altimeter is set. We're transitioning from flight levels back to local pressure. It's pretty dark out here. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and pull rank. As much as I don't mind landing in dark, I think it would be more picturesque for you folks coming along with me to enjoy the view. So we're going to make it daylight again. And 750 should be just fine. Oh, look at that. I'm glad I did that now. It looks neat. That's pretty sweet. I'm pretty sure we're going to be going into this bay here. Let me double check my chart data. Yeah, I get the feeling we're going to want to be around 600 feet by the time we get to the end of the RNAV approach and make that final turn to the runway. Ooh, looks so nice. All right, do I have my wing lights on? Wing lights on, and anything I'm missing? Don't think so. We should be fine otherwise. So neat. I'm taking a look at some traffic right now online. Okay, so you know what? Let's take this all the way in. I would say let's go down to 3,400 feet. Keep up the descent rate. Let's add some boards. Don't know why the default one doesn't let me disarm the ground spoilers. Let me check the controls real quick, gang. No, not assistance, controls. Give me keyboard and find speed brake. Or spoiler. Oh, that, well, yeah. Oh, it's the numpad. Thank you. Oh, wait. Why doesn't it let me actually arm the spoilers? Toggle arm spoiler. You know what? We're going to try clear current input, and we're going to do that. That should probably be fine. There we go. Now I'm happy. So spoilers are armed and we have auto brakes medium. We're good to go. So coming in out of the bay, we're going to be turning probably on the Sisters Island VOR, or is that Elephant? Yeah, Sisters. That's Sierra, Sierra, Romeo, Sisters Island. And then coming up Nimley. We're good. Sisters, we can be, it doesn't give me an altitude restriction for it, but we need to be at 3,400 by the time we get to Ojim, which is here. Okay, I do think it's there. I do think so. All right. Almost there, chat. If you've been here long, thanks for enjoying the flight today. If you've just joined us, we are on approach into Juneau. We came out of Fairbanks, I would say about an hour ago. It might be a little bit more than an hour now, but it's definitely been a nice trip. And I'm going to go ahead and adjust my graphics so I get better terrain vector data. Oh no, actually I am getting good vector data already. Not going to worry about it. Tonight I'm probably going to go through some more of my doodads and see the kind of projects I want to work on when I have some more free time. Otherwise, I am happy to have done what I did today. I'm looking forward to landing, taxiing the gate, and getting some coffee brewing for later tonight. And then stretch my legs and have some fun. Part of next week, I think, is going to be largely involving what am I trying to say? largely involving scenery development. There we go. I want to start making some more progress with Plymouth Municipal Airport. I've got some other airports to work on. I've got some potential opportunities opening up shortly, which I will keep to myself. Just know I am trying to really get back in the swing of things with scenery development, and I hope to do some more things, maybe even make the rest of this year interesting. Speaking of interesting, this approach, my word. Wow. Hello and welcome aboard. Your username makes me think of the word Nigel. Hopefully you're very well. We are approaching Juneau today. You can see the airport way out there, but we have to kind of like zig and zag to get into the bay to line up and land this plane. We're flying the A320neo. This is not the fly-by-wire version. This is in fact the default version. And I forgot to turn on my landing lights, but that's okay. Wing lights are already on. And do I need to do anything up here? No. Wow. Look at how amazing this is. Okay, so we're coming up on the approach, and I'm going to want to start planning my arrival. And part of that means slowing to approach speed, which it looks like we're already in right now. Or approach mode, rather. And now we've got terrain, radar, and I want to get down to 2700 once we cross Ojim. Or now. That's fine. Oh, nice. Okay, Belize to Cuba. There's a part of the world I don't fly nearly as much as I should. Okay, let's go to flaps 1, please. And then once we cross this waypoint, we're going to get down to about 600 feet. Honestly, no real distraction between me and that altitude, so I might not wait.
2,500.
Let's do flaps 2 and gear down. Actually, keep the flaps at 1 and drop gear first. No, you can slow down more, computer. .170 knots should be fine. Got some winds, looks like. Wow. Three to 4 hour flight in total. That's kind of cool. Now we can do flaps 2. And I'm going to start my descent to 600 feet. Flaps 3. Alright, so again we got spoilers armed, auto brakes medium. Missed approach here, I think, is going to be 9,000. But we're using this to descend anyway, so it's not like we're doing it up, really doing things. And flaps full. Almost in, chat. Almost in.
1,000.
1,000, stable-ish. We're at about 600. I'm going to take over from here. Here we go. Let's slow down. Skim that hill and come on down.
400. 300. 200. 100.
My aircraft, my throttles.
100. 60. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard 5.
Okay, there we go. And down. Manual. And 60 knots. Welcome down, everybody. Really not the prettiest approach. Sorry, prettiest touchdown, but we're in. Welcome to Juneau. The local time is sunset o'clock. Down is all that matters. Yes. So, I would say total flight time was probably about... Oh, sheesh, what? Did we get here like an hour ahead? No, it doesn't make sense. sun went behind the clouds and stayed there. Now, let's play the game called Can We Find the AI helpers that are going to get us to a gate? I don't have GSX installed, but I noticed that sometimes if I set up a flight the right way, the the um, the ground crew is actually going to be in front of a gate. Sometimes I think it's the gate that I set if I plan a flight from the world map, but I don't know that for an absolute fact. So I guess I'd have to figure it out. Okay, there we go. So there on the other side, and way off in the distance there is Mendenhall Glacier. You can't see it right now. Well, not bad for a gamepad flight. I'm happy. I'm looking forward to stretching my legs, making some coffee, and then we're going to see what happens. Full right turn here. There's something fun about using the default marshaller. A little bit more. All right, good enough. All right, folks. One thing I forgot to do is actually get the APU going, but I will cheat a bit by getting power to show up, which should allow me to actually get the external power connected, and that means I can turn my engines off. Sweet. All right, so external power is on. We'll get the dome lights all the way up. And now I can turn beacon light off because I don't have my APU running. And I can turn all my fuel pumps off, and we can turn off the seatbelt sign, turn off the electronic device sign, and now I can request the jetway. All right, so we have the jetway coming up, and that is that. Ah, beautiful. Welcome to still somewhat wintry Juneau in Alaska. This time of day looks a little bit cool and wonderful. I think, no, this is actually a real world flight. Alaska 65. Either they just got here or they're going to be leaving soon. And Let's bring the time back a bit just to see what it looks like right now. Okay, still looks pretty snowy up here. And you can't really see it, but way in the back is Mendenhall Glacier. And actually visited there IRL. Yep, doors open. And if you just listen, you can hear the passengers disembarking. That's crazy. In a default A320. I'm happy. Okay. So, yeah, we're here and stuff. Man, was a nice flight. Nice chance to, do some things. Let me go ahead and actually. Can I shut down? Sure. What do I need? Nav light can come off. Dome lights can come off. Probe heat can come off. External power can come off. And batteries are off. And there we go. This entire bird is kaput. Folks are still disembarking. That's cool. And that is that. Default scenery, and honestly, just everything else just is so nice. I think I'm good at this point because I like having the jetway connected to the plane. I don't feel like flying away and having that thing disconnect because of normal things. Unfortunately, I'm starting to run into the problem again where I get jetways that don't fully render anymore. So I'm going to check my texture options and see whether or not the texture level is low or medium. Where is it? Texture resolution is medium. So I have a theory about this. I feel like anything medium or above makes these jetways not want to render. And I'm not sure if that's an issue with regards to some kind of weird memory management problem that it has, or me being a bit too high and mighty with my texture resolution option. So I'm going to go back to flying with, do I care if I want to use low texture resolution? I don't know. I don't know. I guess I'll just deal with it because that one rendered fine, but I don't know. I'll have to decide whether or not that's an important enough thing for me to care about. Because on the one hand, I don't really pay too much attention to ground textures, but when it's low, I feel like sometimes the ground textures are really low. So, such is life. Folks, that'll do it for today. I'm going to head out. I think I'm going to be back to scenery development streams on Monday or Tuesday, Lord willing. And I am most likely going to focus on the task at hand for a few places. I might revisit X-Plane 12 scenery development in the near future. It depends. And I'm going to see what's up. Otherwise, it's been a privilege having you guys aboard and flying the default A320neo. I like it. It likes me. I didn't break it on landing. Uh, I didn't have crash detection on anyway, but I think I probably landed somewhere in like the 300s for touchdown rate, which is fine. Like I said, shocks absorb 75 to 80% of that anyway, I'm sure. In terms of other content, I'm debating reinstalling American Truck Sim, but I don't have that many scenery packs installed. Or I should say, forgive me, I'm about 2 or 3 regions behind. I used to have all of them, and then they released like Montana, Texas, like Nebraska. I think they released Nebraska. So I am considering getting back into it. I still have my saves for my profile. At least I should have my saves for my profile. So unless I don't, I would expect to get back to trucking at some point in the not too distant future. It's certainly not going to be a common thing. It's probably going to be something I do more for fun on my own time. But who knows? We'll see. In the meantime, chat, like I said about 3 or 4 times already, I'm going to go head out and enjoy the rest of the evening. Folks, take care. Thanks for coming along again. Really appreciate having you on board. And like I always like to say, if you want true peace, you want the Prince of Peace, and that's Jesus Christ. Take care, friends. Enjoy your night, and until next time.